So, back to what I was saying. Well, we were talking about her son's father. Instead of him waiting on Taraji's ship to come in terms of wealth, he continued to hustle, and which resulted in, you know, um, William Lamar Johnson, being murdered on the south side of Washington, D.C. So, she was traumatized by that for a long time, to be a single parent mother, and to have, for Marcel, her son, to have to grow up without a father. And, you know, uh, she was born, like I said, 9/11. She's a Virgo like myself. And one thing we both have in common is that when Virgos, when they find their craft, they totally engulf themselves in their craft, which in turn gives them the Midas touch in terms of the work that they put in, the all in all that they put in, the support of the creator that they put into their work. The work ethic becomes very, very structured, highly structured, and the commitment level is extremely high. So that's one of the things that I can see that sister has, that I also possessed as well. But she would make a good Mamie Till. And the movies that she played in, Hustle and Flow and Hidden Figures and an array of movies. Within the last 5 years, she has been extremely busy. And so, you know what that means. She got into a couple of fucked up relationships with these fuck niggas, these bisexual fuck niggas that have been, have had their asses bust open in Hollywood. And they did not protect her in terms of the white freaks that were waiting behind the scenes to have her participate in sex rituals in order to have their career catapulted, like Terrence Howard. When you watch Terrence Howard in Power, and you watch him in Hustle and Flow, and you listen to how he talks, the swag that he has, even in Dead Presidents. I was just complimenting on his uniform, Kirby, man. Come on, Kirby, man. That's not how he talks in real life. He plays a folk guitar. He sits on a couch with his feet tucked under his butt, playing a folk guitar. And when they asked him, Terrence, how did you like the roles that you played in Hustle and Flow? Well, actually, when I played Hustle and Flow, I had to actually listen to a lot of rap CDs like Snoop Dogg. I was like, God damn. And, he's been turned out. But he didn't protect Taraji from the sodomites that are in the movie industry. Neither did this bisexual, Tyrese, who sucked his way and sucked on Pepsi bottles and sucked his way into the movie industry. And he was willing to get down and do anything. And see what these guys do, what these old half fuck niggas, these fuck boys do, is they promise these queens that they'll protect them. and put them down and tell them who's not right, who to stay away from, show them the ins and outs. And they refuse to do that. And they renege on this shit, once they nut in these fucking queens, and the queens, once they stick their fingers in these niggas' butts, then they turn on them. They just unleash them, talk about them, put them in the tabloids, put them in Ebony, throw out all their dirty laundry and shit, and have the queen have to, mentally scuffle to try to put the pieces back together in terms of her career. And hopefully the brother that she's with now, he appears to be thorough. He's not a movie star or anything that I know of anyway. I believe he's into sports. But it appears that he's grounded. He's more grounded. He has her best interests at heart. Now, this is what it appears. I'm not, because looks can be deceiving. But this is how it appears. Especially when you compare this brother to the last two brothers that she's dealt with. But she's phenomenal. She's a phenomenal sister. But the thing about it, Taraji, you've done some things in your career that you really didn't have to do. And hopefully those will wake-up calls. Hopefully you're still not stuck in that muck. That you can somehow raise yourself up out of that shit and go ahead and move on. Because the sky's the limit in terms of your acting abilities and what you can do. Her son Marcel, who's been already had a little bump in with the law. He's been racially profiled. Police found out who he was, pulled him over, smelled a little weed in the car, and some words were exchanged. And the end result was, even though the officers racially profiled the brother, the end result was he had to apologize to the officers for not being a good nigga, for not being an obedient nigga. Next time, ours will be good. And I didn't like that. I thought that Taraji should have stood up more for her son, because she has that type of clout now where she can go get some people to deal with certain situations. She's in that position now, whether she knows it or not. Instead of just focusing on the rights of animal rights and all that bullshit, because the black man doesn't even have half of the rights as a motherfucking dog. So I thought you should have done more in terms of dealing with the situation that your son was involved in. And your mother and your maternal grandmother, I wish the best for y'all. You have to understand the things that, all the things that that your mother went through to provide for you, to make sure, you were taken care of, and, be grateful and thankful. Excuse me.